Composite Shapes.
And his name is John C.
Just kidding, students. This is Math Man. We're going to learn about polygons today, so let's go to the board.
All right, students, now we're at the board, so let's look at area polygons and composite shapes. All right, so let's start with some terminology. First, we're going to talk about what is a polygon. Polygons are a figure with at least 3 straight sides and angles, like these shown below. Triangle, quadrilateral, which would be a square or a rectangle, pentagon, hexagon, heptagon, octagon, nonagon, decagon, and the list goes on. Composite shapes. A figure or shape that can be divided into more than one of the basic figures. Alright, so let's start looking at squares. First, we'll look at the area of a square. The formula is area equals length times width. So first you're going to locate the length and width measurements of the square. They should be the same, so you might only get one. Second, you're going to place the values into the equation. For example, if you have a square that has a length of 5 centimeters and a width of 5 centimeters, you'll go area equals length times width, which is 5 times 5, which would give you 25 centimeters squared. Now we're going to look at rectangles. For the area of a rectangle, the formula is area equals length times width. First, you'll take the length and width measurements of the rectangle and place the values into the equation. For example, if a rectangle has a length of 10 centimeters and a width of 5 centimeters, you'll take the area equals length times width. Let's put those two values in, 10 and 5. So 10 times 5 would equal 50, and it would be centimeters squared. Next, we're going to look at triangles. So the area of a triangle is a little different than the last two. The formula is area equals 1/2 times the base times the height, or base times height divided by 2. So again, you're going to locate the base and height measurements of the triangle, then place the values into the equation. So if we have a triangle with a base of 10 centimeters and a height of 3 centimeters, the length of the base is 10 centimeters. And the height will be 3 centimeters. That's going to be from the tallest point down to the base. So our formula, area equals 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 times 10 times 3. And that would be 30 divided by 2, which is 15 centimeters squared. So now that we've looked at the polygons, let's look at some composite shapes. So the area of a composite shape would be to find ways to cut the shape into the portions that you can measure for area. Then you're going to add the separate areas together to find the area of the composite shape. So let's start by looking at this composite shape. Looks like an upside down L. And we've got different value measurements, 15 inches, 3 inches, 7 inches, and 3 inches. So first, you're going to cut the shape. So we can cut the shape in a way that gives us 2 different areas we can measure. So we could cut it like that, or we can cut it like this. Either way you cut this shape, we'll have 2 rectangles that we can use to find areas, and we can add the 2 together. For the sake of this video, we're going to cut it the first way. Now we have 2 fairly similar rectangles we can use and find area for. So we're going to find the areas of each individual rectangle. We're going to start with the one on the top. So we know that the area is the length times the width. Now we know the width is 3 inches because it tells us. The length, however, is shared between the 7 inches and the 3 inches because the area we cut off is 3 inches long. So that makes that length 10. So our area is going to be 10 times 3, which gives us 30 inches squared. Now we have to look at the second rectangle. The second rectangle is also going to be area equals length times width. And in this case, we have 3 for our width again, but the length is going to be 15 for the whole side, but we already took into account that other 3 inches for the first rectangle. So we take 15 and minus those 3 inches, we have 12. So our area measurement is going to be 12 times 3, which gives us 36 inches. The final step to this is to add the 2 areas together. So 30 plus 36 equals 66 inches squared. All right, students, you know what time it is. It's question time! If I have a rectangle with sides of 14 inches as the length and 7 inches as the width, what is the area of this rectangle? Well, if you remember, our formula is area equals length times width. So 14 times 7 gives us 98 centimeters squared. All right, next question. If I have a triangle that has a base of 12 and a height of 10, what is the area of this triangle? Well, remember the area is 1/2 base times height. So 1/2 of the base, which is 12, times 10, which is the height, gives us 1/2 of 120, which is 60 centimeters squared. All right, one more. What's the area of this shape? We have a composite shape, so we have to cut it. And let's find the area of this one. So the area equals the length times the width. So we have 10 for the length and 4 for the width, which gives us 40 inches squared. Now let's find the other. We have length times width once again. But again, now we have a 5 for the width. But what's the length of the rectangle? Well, we know that that part is 4 plus whatever's left from 16, which would be 12, which means that the length of that smaller rectangle is going to be 12 inches. So our area is 12 times 5, which is going to be 60 inches squared. So now we add those two areas together, and that gives us an even 100 inches squared.
All right, students, now that you've learned how to do polygons and composite shapes and find the areas of both, now it's time to get back to what you like to do anyway, which is play video games. And I get that. Math is not always a fun subject, but that's okay. We're going to keep doing it, and I'm going to keep showing you how to do it the right way. So, if you liked the video, if it was helpful to you, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, and click that bell so you can keep seeing all the cool videos that I'm going to put out. Hope you have a good day, and Math Man, out.